Hey everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. We are in the garage again, which means wood projects. Everett has strep today. He's having some, not today, this week, and having some asthma issues. So we need easy DIY. So I think I might take some scraps that we cut last time, some scraps that are in the barnwood stuff. And then I have all these wood, well, if it wants to focus, maybe not. There we go. Wood cabinet doors that are under here. So we're gonna jump right into this video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys. To start out, I'm gonna use these old like barnwood pieces. I think the last time I used them was Christmas and I cut them up and then threw the rest to the side. So now we are gonna put them to use using the Lattice Rose Paint and Lay. Like I said before, you guys, whatever I have in stock of these, that's all there is, and then they will never come back. So get your hands on them now. All right, so I'm going to take this one, which I already used on another project, and then a second design of the paint inlay. And this one is like a brand new sheet, so it has not been used on another project beforehand. I love the paint inlays where the entire sheet is a print because it makes it so much easier to use. So because we want to keep that beautiful chippy look, I'm not going to paint over these. I am going to use my liquid patina, which is a matte finish. I spritz the paint inlay with some water, and then I'm going to take that water bottle once again, spritz the top, pat it down. I'm going to do the same thing for our second piece of wood. Lay down that liquid patina, a healthy coat, spritz our paint inlay, and then I'm going to lay that on down. I also found that instead of using the paper towel to push it down, using the plastic wrap like we do with decoupage paper works very well too. So now we're going to set these aside. We're going to let them dry. You'll see that your paper turns white again when it's dry. So we're going to mist these up. You want them wet because if you tried pulling them off dry, it would be a hot mess. I'm going to push that water into our paint inlay. Now, you'll see when I peel this one back, remember I used this one on a prior project. I didn't really get the paint release, which just tells me that it actually released on that first one pretty dang good. So for the second one though, look at how gorgeous this is. It almost looks like a vintage wallpaper on this chippy wood. I love it. So I wasn't satisfied with this piece. So what I did was took some scrap pieces. These are new pieces, so they were not used on a project before. And I am just going to put these in random places on my piece of wood, laying them down, and then spritzing them with water. My little one is calling me. I will be right back. I am back. Her sister is distracting her for the meantime. So we'll do the last one, let it dry, and then you can see I did the same steps, how much better that came out. So now one of them had just like a little split on the side. So I'm going to put some Gorilla Glue in there, and then I'm going to kind of open it up so it gets down in there. I'm going to tape it off with some painter's tape very tight, and then I'm going to let that dry. Once it dries, we are going to take some sawtooth hangers. I usually get these at Walmart. However, I have not purchased them in a long time. So I don't know if they're still there, but we are going to apply sawtooth hangers to both of these because we are going to use these as towel coat hangers. And now I'm grabbing, this is actually like a farmhouse hook. It was black. I spray painted it with ivory satin and then just distressing it down so it goes with the wood and doesn't look all new. So I am going to find my middle point of the piece of wood, including the little trim on the side. And once I get it where I want, usually I would just screw the screws right in, but this wood was so tough, you guys. So what I had to do was I put the hook on there, and then I'm going to take a permanent marker and I'm going to mark where my holes are. I will then take my hook back off, get my drill, and I'm going to pre-drill my holes. Now I'm able to screw my screws in here. And these turned out absolutely fabulous. I feel like we really kept with the old charm of this chippy, beautiful paint. And I want to note I did clear these with Clear Matte by Rust-Oleum. I did 2 coats. I love that these look like old wallpaper that are like starting to peel off. These are absolutely beautiful and a great use for some old wood. John's gonna say it's trash. There's a piece of wood right there sitting right on top of that little stack, and it needs to be a sign. So to start off, you guys, I ordered this rice paper off of Amazon and it is absolutely fabulous. Sorry, my garage door is opening. I am doing this voiceover over the weekend, so it's chaotic in the house. But I'm going to take a block of wood that was left over from the previous wood video, and I'm going to paint this with cake batter. I'm going to do the front, the sides, all around on here. I'm going to get that rice paper. All of the graphics that I use in these DIYs are from graphicsfairy.com. I'll leave the link down in the description box. And all I searched was like vintage people or something like that. I am trying to use some Dollar Tree like craft scissors, and they just were not doing the best job here. So I went with it and let it happen. It didn't need to be perfect because that's not what this DIY was all about. And I'm going to take my liquid patina. Y'all, this rice paper, oh my gosh, it's not too thin. It's not too thick. It is absolute perfection. So I applied my liquid patina on the bottom in sections, laid that rice paper down, smoothed it out with that plastic wrap, repeated the process for the other side as well. I do want to note that I did spray the rice paper with Clear Matte by Rust-Oleum just because I had printed the paper and I didn't have the patience to wait for it to dry, and I didn't have any issues with the ink bleeding at all. Now I'm going to take that liquid patina and I'm going to go over the entire piece of this wood and go over the rice paper image as well. Liquid patina is going to give me the matte finish that I want. Big Top will give you a little bit of sheen. And so I wanted the matte finish for this. After that completely dries, I'm going to take fabric from my old pillowcase. I hate that I like repeat that all the time, but I know it's going to be the one time that I don't say where I got this from that a lot of people are going to ask. So I recycle my pillowcases that I use on the couch and cut out the back sides because the front usually has an image on it, and I repurpose it. So I cut this down to size, and then because this doesn't easily fray, I have to get my weeding tool and pull the fabric out, and I'm going to do that all the way around this piece. Now I'm going to take my Apothecary stamp, and y'all, I have gotten so much use out of this stamp. These blocks alone will pay for these stamps because they are fabulous. They come with 4 fonts, and these I do have in stock, but again, once these are sold out on my website, I will not be able to order any more until June because they are completely sold out in the warehouse. So make sure to get yours. So I'm laying out all of my words first. Then I'm going to apply my permanent black ink on top of them. And I'm going to press them down very firmly since we are using fabric on there. I got all of my quotes just by searching like Google search and then just match them up to the pictures to make some fun, quirky little blocks. So I am going to repeat that all the way on the top. And you guys, this takes some time because you really have to play around with the stamps and the placement of them. Once I was done with all of these stamps, I'm going to take these gold thumbtacks that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to put that on all 4 corners just to add a little bit of detail to this wood block. But of course, I'm not done. I'm going to take the Textures stamp, which I do have in stock, and I am going to coat that with some black ink, And I'm going to put that around the entire wood block just to make it look aged and distressed. Now, that wood pile that we saw in the beginning of these DIYs, we cut those down to size, and these I'm not gonna paint. The wood is beautiful. I want these to look aged and old, so we are leaving them as is. I'm gonna take this other beautiful angel photo, and I'm gonna cut the little vessel off the bottom because I didn't need it. It wasn't going to fit on there either way. And we're going to repeat the process. Now, the rice paper is thick enough where I don't have to paint white on the back of this like I do decoupage paper to make it pop. Um, so I just go right in with that liquid patina and then do my thing. I am also, of course, going to put a coat of that over our image and the entire block of wood. I cut my fabric, I fray it, and then this step I did not show you in the first one, but I take my glue gun and I put a thin bead of hot glue down. This is going to keep our fabric in place and it's going to hold it nice and tight. The tacks wouldn't do it for us here. Just make sure it's thin so that that hot glue does not come through your fabric. Now again, we're going to play around with placement. Now, you guys, these DIYs are going to be great for those of you that do craft shows, that have a booth, and these are going to be so much fun to do with friends and family, or even gift them seriously for any occasion, because you could put any quote you want on these. So I had to get crafty and I used the exclamation sign for the percentage and the periods in this stamp set, and it worked out fabulously. But like I said, it takes quite a while to like stamp your entire quote down onto the fabric. Now for this one, I'm going to use, look at Everly decided she wanted to craft with me. So she's painting little fairy doors and we're going to screw them onto the trees outside. So that'll be a lot of fun. So for this wood block, since it looks aged and old, I got these like aged brass furniture. You guys are picking up pins, whatever. And I'm going to hammer those down to all four. And then that's going to complete this wood block. Now I'm going to show you another version. I won't like repeat all the processes, but again, using that aged wood that I found outside. Now this is going to be a bigger block, and I was okay with that because I was going to use a longer image and I was going to do something different with it. So I utilized my entire piece of rice paper here. I resized them on my Silhouette Design Studio. That is free, you guys. You do not need a Silhouette vinyl cutter in order to download that program and use it to resize images. And then I am just going to cut the image that I want out. I think these are cat ears, not bunny ears, but I don't know. She looks sassy and I absolutely loved her. So we're going to keep that picture big. I'm not cutting anything off of it. We're going to repeat the step with our liquid patina, adhering it on and covering the entire piece of wood. Now, with the quote that I'm using for her, it is like a sassy quote, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use some kind of ribbon. So I pulled out this gold ribbon and I was like, I think this is too bougie for our old piece of wood and our old image. So I found this ribbon from Dollar Tree and I was like, this is perfection. Perfection. I couldn't do there we go. Perfection. Okay. And I am going to just line the image with my hot glue and then do the ribbon. Now I'm not going outside the lines of this image at all. I am using the image to perfectly cut my ribbon out, and then I'm just going to overlap them on the side. I thought I was going to get some of those push pins and put them in all four corners, but it was just too much and this was totally working for me. So I left it as is. I'm going to do the other two sides. And oh, we got to show you Everly's little door real quick. Look at how cute that is. She's such a great little artist. Now, I thought the apothecary stamps come with 4 size fonts, and I thought I could go bigger with this because it's a bigger piece of fabric, but it still just wasn't fitting. So we had to resort back to our the previous size stamp that we used, which was totally fine. I feel like it adds some cohesiveness to it. But you guys, I had so much fun creating these, and I know you guys will too. It's a great way to use scrap pieces of wood, and these are all about like 2x8s, and then I just cut them down to random sizes and sized my photos to the size of my wood. So let's check out how these turned out. Look at how cute. So you can paint your wood like we did here. This one has that crackle on it, and it says valuable antiques are dear old friends. Fits the image very well. And then we have our sassy girl over here. The framed ribbon fits perfectly. And this one says, be a stiletto in a room of flats. And then we have our angel, which says, I am 99% angel, but oh, that 1%. Aren't these so much fun, you guys? Okay, our last one is this cabinet door. I've had it forever, and I've been saving it for just the right piece. I did not even have to paint this, y'all. It was just perfection. So I'm taking the new Prestige stamp, and I am going to lay this out. I didn't want to waste your time because it literally took me forever to space it out, lay it out, and figure out what I wanted. But what is great about the new stamps is that they printed the images onto the masks. So it seriously makes it so easy to form your layout. So I'm going to lay my stamps out here, and then using our stamp mount, these are available on the website. I was able to pick up all 4 stamps at the same time. Talk about easy DIY and upcycle. So I am going to use the black ink. Once again, this is permanent ink by IOD. I have in stock black, tomato, china blue, and stone gray right now. I'm going to flip that on over, and while holding a part of the mount with one hand, I'm going to press down on the stamp with the other one. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to smear the ink on this. It's kind of a slick surface because the cabinet door is painted. So I'm just being nice and gentle with it, making sure I get all of my details in there. And then I'm going to lift this on up, and that's when the magic happens because these stamps make everything look so beautiful. All right, so I do the same thing to the opposite side, lifting my masks as I put the stamps down. That way I don't lose my placement. And then I'm going to repeat that same step of just flipping it on over, using our ink, and then flipping it back down. I absolutely love how this turned out. I thought so much about adding more details or flowers or crackle or cup hooks so somebody could do like their teacups on. But then I was like, you know what? Let somebody else kind of put their own touch on it because I think it looks beautiful just as like a sign in an entryway or over a beautiful bench. So many possibilities. So I am going to now put some stamps inside the cloches. I decided I was going to leave the bird cages as is and then just accessorize the inside of the cloches. Now the cloches don't need any kind of masks in them at all at this point. So I am using the books for the taller cloche. And then I am going to use this little, it's like an egg cup, but you can use it however you want. And we are going to stamp that up, put that on the bottom, and then we are going to grab the mask that comes with our stamps, and we're going to put that on top of the little egg cup. And I am going to grab one of the eggs. I think there's 3 eggs in this collection. And voila, that turned out so cute. And then for the third cloche, we are going to use the little bird's nest. Let me tell you, that thing has so much detail in it. And then I wanted to just give you kind of like a close up of the cabinet door itself. And then I don't know what the smudge was there. Probably I didn't dry it off enough from cleaning it. And then you guys, having these masks in the new stamps is just so fabulous. I love that I can lay them out and play around with my placement. Now I'm going to flip my sign. Look at that baby bump. It's getting huge, y'all. And I'm going to use my D hooks. These are on my Amazon, in my Amazon store link, along with the rice papers. I did not mention that. I'm going to measure them in about, I think it was like 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to screw them in on both sides. These hold up to 50 pounds. And then I am going to, oh, didn't need that clip in there, spray it with clear matte by Rust-Oleum. I did 3 healthy coats of this, and here's how it turned out. This was such an easy upcycle. I think it has so much detail in it that I really didn't need to add anything else. Even the cabinet door itself is perfectly aged. I love it. So thank you guys for spending your time here with me today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one of these wood DIYs was your favorite and that you hope to recreate. And I will see you guys here again on Tuesday. Have a fabulous weekend, my friends. Bye.